Hi, folks. Good evening. This is Derek from New York City. Yes, the latest now is the drones that Americans are talking about day and night. You can't get peace. Every time you turn or scroll along TikTok, everybody or every other person is talking about the drones. Some people are saying, "Oh, I'm scared. I'm scared. Who is spying on me? Who? I wonder who is spying on me. Is America being attacked? Why is it these drones are so terrible that people seem to be scared?" Before they started talking about the drones are a threat, they said, "Oh, they were aliens. Aliens are coming." Some said the aliens are coming from beneath the ocean. Some said the aliens are coming from somewhere in the sky, in the cosmic. All these excuses, all of these ridiculous analyses I hear on this TikTok and elsewhere about these drones and aliens every day. It bugs me. How could intelligent, supposedly intelligent people be so consumed with trite and frivolity? How could everyday intelligent people, I suppose with some common sense, be so consumed with trite and frivolity? Now, the American government has been spying on its people and other peoples all over the world for decades. They have something called satellites in the air, satellites in the orbit. Every nation that can afford to have them up there, and they monitor not only their own people, and they monitor other nations and peoples. They monitor the weather, the ocean. You think about it, and they've got satellites up there that is doing that has eyes on you or anything that is programmed to watch for. You don't need an obvious drone in your neighborhood to spy on you to make it so obvious when they have other ways to spy on you. They can listen on your telephone, they can monitor your internet activity. All of these things are common knowledge generally and globally. So what is the big deal? You see a few flashing lights here and there in the bloody neighborhood or up above you, and you wonder, oh gosh, the heavens are falling. Someone is threatening us. Are you so damn dotish and foolish to come up with such ridiculous conclusions? But I see this happening all the time here on TikTok and elsewhere from adults, mostly. Adults that carry on like children. Frightened children, afraid of the dark. Because they see a few flickering lights here and there, and they can't understand what is it, or no one can tell them what is it. So they come up with all of these concocted ideas and suspicions about what these things are, what they represent, and what they're supposedly doing to us. Well, I have news for you, dummies. If you are scared of the drones, you just make sure that you pull your curtains across your windows so they can't spy on you. They can't see you naked in your bedroom or your bathroom. If you're so concerned that the drone outside your window is going to be spying on you, pull your bloody curtains so that it will not see you in the bedroom or your bed. If you think it's spying on you, do that. Close your bloody blinds, window blinds or curtains. That will give you some security if you're so damn desperate and stupid. We're no longer hearing about the Palestinian plight. We're no longer hearing about what is happening to suffering Palestinians no more. It's all about the drones. And these people who are flying these things, they have a reason to have them in the air there to distract you from reality, to distract you from what is important. But you don't get it because you're too small, you're too frivolous, triflous. You cannot understand these things because your minds are too petty and frivolous. So any little distraction like a drone here and there, a flickering light here and there will catch your attention because you're shallow, you have no depth. You're shallow people. So anytime the system or the administration, political administration, wants you to be distracted away from what is important, they'll do things like this to take your attention away from what is supposedly more important. And it always succeeds because they know that you are like children. You can be led around like children to a candy store with promises of a purchase for you or some ice cream shop. You'll be promised an ice cream cone if you behave yourself. So you're like children. You follow along, you go along because you believe at the end of the journey you will be given what you expect. You'll get your wish, an ice cream cone or a candy. Well, that is what they're doing. You can be easily distracted. You see this candy cane in the back of me there? Yes, that is what you'll get at the end of the day for doing what you're expected to do. They're gonna reward you with a candy cane or or an ice cream cone. This is the level we have sunk mentally and intellectually in the world today, not only in America, but globally. We've become like children, most of us. We forgot that we no longer think for ourselves. We no longer think rationally. We are a mass manipulated people. You see that any little thing can be used to manipulate masses of people at any given time. It's amazing. All when I was a young man, none of this never existed. But I guess because we only had radio, television came in the 60s or 70s. No, after the 50s, I think television came on board in the 1950s, but very few could afford it. And most countries didn't have it. Not until the 60s, 70s, and started becoming global. Those people that can afford to have it. I grew up in the 50s and 60s, 70s, we never had it in my country and nobody could afford it. When I left in 1989, they still hadn't television as a normal way of communicating. Few people I heard had it in the black and white in their homes who can afford to get it, but we had no television station in my home country where you can just go purchase a set and plug in. So manipulation was done on a different level. In order to understand what politicians were saying, and I was a young man growing up, teenager and adolescent, you had to go in a public square where the politicians met, advertised, they'll have a meeting, and you're invited to attend. You hear what their agenda is, and you go to that square if you're a supporter of that politician, or you're curious, you go there in the evening and listen to them give the speeches. These were done in public squares, public parks, etc. All we had was radio. And the radio station didn't accommodate politicians as such in speeches, as far as I can recall. I can't recall hearing a politician give an agenda, a major speech on the radio yet. When I was a kid, we heard reports of things that politicians were doing here and there. But to have a politician have a radio broadcast about his agenda for half an hour, I can't recall ever hearing that. I heard the governor speak, because he was the head of state at the time. The colonial governor spoke. When the Queen's birthday came up, or probably before a New Year's wish to the nation, that was the governor's job. But apart from that, even when we became an independent people, the prime minister or president spoke on certain official holidays or official things. But when they were canvassing for election, it was all done physically. You get out there in the public square, you send around flyers, and you have vehicles traveling in the neighborhood with loud hailers telling people of a meeting coming up at so place. All are invited to attend. This person, comrade this or Mr. This, is going to be having a public meeting, and you go if you're interested, and you stand there and you listen and you support or not. That's how we did it, our political canvassing. Very down to earth, very rustic, and very personal. Today you sit behind a computer, you're talking, you insult people, you harass people, you carry on. You even get naked. I see more naked bodies on this internet than you would normally see in real life. In real life, you meet someone, you want to get sexual with them. When they get to the point when they get in the room, they are shy to even take off the top, or the trousers, the top, or the bra. Shit, you gotta work hard to get them to start removing stuff. And yet I see people are quite comfortable getting naked on the internet. You see them half naked, 3/4 naked, fully naked. If they can get rid of everything with full nakedness, they'll do it without any hesitation. I see it here on the internet every day. But if you meet those same individuals who are so bold to put the nakedness out here on the internet without shame or shyness, If you meet that individual or those individuals personally on the street or anywhere, any venue, and you try to get personal with them or tell them you're interested, they put up a big barrier, a pretentious barrier. Who are you? Why do you think so? Why are you interested in me? These are the attitudes you encounter. Why are you interested in me? Who are you? Where are you from? How do you know me? All these ridiculous barriers they put. That's why it's so difficult to meet people, because they put up artificial barriers. They forgot how to be civil. People have forgotten, I'm talking about all these groups today, people have forgotten how to be civil towards each other. If a person tells another person, good day, very few respond, and many people wonder why he or she said good day to me. That's what they think. Why this person had the nerve or the temerity to tell me good day? They don't see that as one human being trying to be civil towards another by making that kind of recognition. They don't see that as a normal, natural human thing to do in a civilized world. It's difficult for them to comprehend that type of behavior, so they get offended. Why should you say hello to me? Why should I say, if I say good morning, they ignore you or they look at you funny or with apprehension? It's amazing. People forgot how to be human, how to be civil towards each other. Even if you can acknowledge and behave in that with that basic civility on a daily basis to all that you encounter during the day, how could you find a mate or a lover or partner or spouse? How is it possible to you find someone that you can connect that with? First of all, you got to meet them face to face. They got to see your physical body. They got to be attracted to you physically. That's the first thing. You don't fall in love with anybody just by writing something on the internet or sending a text. Oh no, he or she is distances away from you, never met, post face to face. All you see is a person on video or a photograph or two. You might even see a few naked ones and you get excited. Most of the time you see photographs that are years old when they had a certain physique. But what they look like now, very few show you what they look like now, this present moment. They show nice photographs of young years when they were in shape, but what they look like now, they keep hidden. And then some of you who are able to meet face to face, they show up at your door or apartment, then you see the real person. Someone who is totally not what you see, what they've shown you or were showing you before. As some people call it, being catfished. When someone appears to your door after you were having these texts, back and forth texting and talking and even, for a long time, and you expect to see a certain person based on what you were seeing all along, and when that person shows up, you see a big, ugly, fat, crude looking something that is totally unappealing to you at the door, then you ask yourself, what on earth has happened to you since we last spoke or text? But you were being catfished, as they say. Yes, and that is what happens to a lot of people on these long-distance internet relationships that they try to establish. Oh, I'm looking for a friend. I'm looking for a lover. I'm looking for my soul mate. I'm looking for a loyalty. You're going to find no loyal person on the internet. Loyalty is not established by long-distance relationships. Loyalty is established when people meet socially, face-to-face. You get involved with each other physically, socially. You can reach and you can talk naturally and spontaneously. You see body language. You see how people respond, how you relate to them. All those things are incorporated into how a relationship will develop over time. Your physical behavior, your body language, the way you speak, the way you show appreciation for or against something. Are you intellectually compatible? Do you share the same interests? Do you have similar interests, ideas? Is it easy for you to speak or talk to each other without feeling shy or without feeling afraid? Can you open yourself and reveal some of your fears, expectations, and even beliefs to another person? All those things are developed with time through interaction between two or more people. The internet does not give you those things, that type of platform. Long distance communication does not give you that type of platform for you to get to know a person personally or internally. It doesn't matter how much videos you have, how many texts you send or emails. That is just a peripheral understanding of each other. Those things just give you a peripheral view of a person. You got to meet that person face to face, have a chat, listen to them speak. They'll listen to you. You get a feel they feel the vibes, because everybody has a vibration that emulate that they put out. You feel comfortable or uncomfortable with the person based on how he or she thinks or feels what is happening within them. Some people don't even have to speak to you, but as soon as you sit next to them or you pass next to them, they have a vibration that is negative and you feel it. And you know that this person is someone you don't want to get close to because of the vibration that you just felt coming from them. And they don't have to say a word to you or to anyone, but you just feel uncomfortable in their presence because of the vibrations that they put out or expel from the body. Those things cannot be discerned when you have a long distance relationship on the internet at all. So those of you who are like children, scare easily, or living in fantasy land, or refuse to accept reality and still expect to find a true life, a true love on the internet, or expect to find your mate or your soulmate, as some of you said, you will be terribly disappointed. It's not going to happen. I'm telling you, I was one of those young man who believed in those ridiculous things until I learned differently. Soulmate and all those things I believed at a point in time in my life that existed, when I realized those are just fallacies. Fantasies and fallacies. There's no such thing as a soulmate. What is a soul? Have you ever seen a soul? If you never see a soul, you don't know what a soul looks like. How on earth would you be able to know that this person is your soulmate? If you have no comprehension about what a soul is, how would you recognize a soulmate if you don't even know what a soul is? Like asking myself, who is God? How will I recognize God that I say I claim to love and afraid of? How can I be in love with someone I've never met or seen or felt? It doesn't make sense. It's beyond rationality. Well, there's another topic, because getting into those spiritual religious things, there's another topic for another time. But I'm just trying to give you a concept of how humans perceive things. As human beings, we believe and feel things that we can see, feel, touch, hear, smell. That is how those senses, 5 or 6 senses we got. Seeing, feeling, touching, smelling, tasting. Those are things that we call real things. Substantive things that humans operate or exist by. The 5 or 6 senses. Those are the things that make it, that is real for us. Any other thing is mere speculation and fantasy. For me, at least. Anything beyond that is fantasy and speculation. That is my belief. Yes, I just thought I should share this. I may have diverted or digressed a bit to give you a general idea of how things are. But yes, the aliens, so these drones that they finally come to conclude that have been seen, that people are talking about aliens, are basically drones. Where they're coming from, who's doing it, I don't know, and I couldn't care less. They're not affecting me. They pose no threat to me. And as far as I understand, the drones are not armed. They're not killing people. They don't have bombs attached or guns attached. So the drones are not a threat to anyone. As far as I'm concerned, they can fly all day and all night. It doesn't bother me. It does not bother me how long these drones fly, where they fly, how they fly. It doesn't bother me. And I couldn't care less who spy on me. If you have the time to spy on me, go right ahead. If you have nothing to do in your life, and I'm talking to anybody, any country, any agency, anything, political, otherwise, if you have nothing to do in your life and you want to spy on me, go right ahead. I could not care less. I'm living my life based on my rules and my understanding of life, and I couldn't care less about who spy or who gave a shit. I don't give a shit. You want to spy. Yeah, so these are the things that I thought I should raise, because I find it extremely amusing. The big furor about these drones, etc. Ridiculous and childish. But that is the level we have sunk. Many of us have sunk into psychologically and emotionally these days. We've become children, mass recruited, frivolous, mundane type of mentality. And trite is all that matters for us, most of us. Trite and frivolity.